Look, you guys know we aren't psychic, but on today's video we will try and predict 10 shocking transfers that could well happen this summer. Welcome back to Eurofootball Daily, let's get started. 10. Romelu Lukaku to Bayern Munich. With persistent rumours linking Romelu Lukaku with a move back to Inter Milan, Chelsea might decide to cut their losses this summer. Not even 10 months on from signing for a club record €115 million, the now 29-year-old striker has done very little to justify his enormous fee. 15 goals in 44 appearances is a poor return, but what's worse is how ineffective and at times disinterested the former Man United striker has appeared, exemplified by the fact he is completing just 11 pressures per game, 8 fewer than Havertz, and 0.3 defensive actions per 90, which ranks in the bottom 6% of strikers in Europe. As we all know, Lewandowski is hell-bent on swapping Bavaria for Barcelona, and with potential targets Adeyemi and Haaland now off the table, and Gnabry's future also uncertain, Bayern might be forced to sign an out-and-out number 9 alongside Sadio Mane. We doubt they'd be able to afford to buy Lukaku permanently, but a loan fee and a centre-back thrown in, the highly rated Tanguy Nianzou for example, and Chelsea might just come to the table. 9. Gonzalo Guedes to Wolves. The best jokes are the ones based on truth, and Wolves' love of Portuguese players is definitely real. With 12 players from the peninsula currently registered to the club, their association with the nation, created and maintained by super agent Jorge Mendes, has been essential to their establishment as a Premier League side over the last 4 seasons. With 9 of Mendes' clients currently at Wolves, the same amount as at Benfica and Sporting CP combined, it's clear that he sees the Midlands club as a useful stepping stone on the path to the big time. Gonzalo Guedes is another Portuguese Mendes client, who after 4 years rebuilding his reputation at Valencia after 6 months spent warming the bench at PSG, appears ready for another move. Despite playing for a painfully inconsistent and turgid side, Guedes provided 11 goals, just 1 fewer than in the previous 3 seasons combined, and 6 assists in 33 La Liga games last term. Capable of playing up front or off either flank, whilst operating at 0.43 expected goals and assists per 90, 0.1 more than Adama Traoré, if Vrij could shift the pacey Spaniard and bring in Guedes, that would be a solid start to the window. 8. Stefan de Vrij to Chelsea. Chelsea are in dire need of defensive reinforcements, and whilst they have been linked with the likes of Romagnoli on a free, as well as mega money moves for Koundé and Guerreiro, we feel that there might be an alternative that falls somewhere in between: Stefan de Vrij. The cornerstone of Inter Milan's defence for the last 4 seasons, with just 1 year remaining on his deal, he could be available for a cut price fee this summer, and having played under Conte and Inzaghi, his adaptation to Tuchel's 3 at the back system shouldn't prove an issue. In terms of his skill set, whilst he rarely comes off worse in a challenge with an 88% tackle success rate, 11% more than Rudiger, it's with the ball at his feet that he really excels, completing 93% of his passes, 15th in Europe's top 5 leagues. If Tuchel can help de Vrij get back to his 2021 title-winning form, then this could represent a smart and crucially achievable piece of business. 7. Thomas Lemar to Monaco. Let's face it, Thomas Lemar's €74 million move to Atletico Madrid, still the second largest in their history, hasn't worked out for either party. 4 years on and he's only started over 20 league games in a season once, and his 26 goals and assists for the club is 29 fewer than he managed for Monaco in 16 more matches. Converted into a central midfielder by Diego Simeone, he does have some outstanding qualities, not least his ability to drive with the ball through congested midfield zones, with his 7.6 progressive carries per 90, dribbles over 10 yards towards the opposition goal, not far off De Bruyne's 8.1. What he lacks though is control and defensive work rate, with his pass completion, tackles, interceptions and blocks all ranking in the bottom 20% of central midfielders in Europe. Lemar's improvement in 21-22 was obvious, but he still only completed the full 90 in 6 of his 35 appearances. And we can't help think that with 1 year left on his deal, Atleti could cash in. With Monaco set to potentially lose Diop as well as Tchouaméni this summer, they'll be cash flush, and investing in a 26-year-old who shone in his 4 years on the south coast could help seal a return to the Champions League group stages for the first time in 4 years. 6. Rafael Guerreiro to Man City. With Man City reportedly pressing ahead with plans to sign Brighton's Marc Cucurella, this one definitely falls firmly into the unlikely category. But Rafael Guerreiro feels like a player born to play under Pep. Yes, his defensive work rate, as Dortmund fans will attest, often leaves a lot to be desired, With his 31% pressure success rate and 2.9 tackles and interceptions per 90, palely in comparison to his understudy Nico Schulz's 39% and 3.5 per 90. But what he can offer with the ball is truly unique. João Cancelo has developed into one of Man City's most consistent and important players, with his ability to pick up midfield positions and thread balls through to their star-studded frontline, seeing him emerge as one of the best fullbacks in Europe. But he completes 84% of his passes, 1% lower than Guerreiro, with his Portuguese teammate completing 7.3 progressive passes per 90, just 0.4 less than Cancelo. If Man City can persuade Dortmund to part ways with Guerreiro, whose current deal expires in 2023, then they would arguably have the two most competent ball-playing fullbacks in world football. 5. Sasa KALAJDŽIĆ to West Ham. With Haaland and Adeyemi already in new homes and Schick and Andre Silva tied into long-term deals, Bayern may well turn their attention to one of the Bundesliga's most promising emerging strikers, Sasa KALAJDŽIČ. If they do, there is very little chance that West Ham will be able to persuade the 6'7" Austrian to swap Stuttgart for East London, but he might be worth investigating nonetheless. With Die Schwaben having narrowly avoided a Bundesliga playoff on goal difference, Moyes' offer of European football could turn his head. In terms of his skill set, his aerial prowess is pretty much unrivaled, with his 6 aerial duels 1 per 90 representing an enticing opportunity for a West Ham side who hit the most crosses into the penalty area in the division. With an average of a goal contribution every 120 league minutes over the last 2 seasons, 40 minutes fewer than Antonio, and an ability to bring others into play as shown by his 0.21 expected assists per 90, better than any current West Ham player, he'd be a smart, relatively cheap addition to a problem area. 4. Victor TSYGANKOV to Nice. The lowest scorers in Ligue 1's top 9, it was Nice's underwhelming attack that cost them a Champions League playoff place, with 7 wins in their final 16 league games seeing them finish 5th, 3 points behind 3rd place Monaco. With supposed interest from Newcastle and Amine Guerreiro, Christophe Galtier will surely be looking to upgrade his forward options this summer. One player he should definitely be looking at is Dynamo Kiev's Victor TSYGANKOV. The 24-year-old has played 6 years of football in his native Ukraine and has produced an exceptional 85 goals and 58 assists in 213 games, with his 0.7 goal contributions per game earning him the nickname the Ukrainian Messi. Having averaged at least 16 goals and assists in his last 4 completed league seasons, and 2.8 shot-creating actions, shots or passes that lead to an effort on goal per 90 in the Champions League last term, 0.7 more than Bernardo Silva, TSYGANKOV seems ready to emulate the success of Zinchenko and Lewandowski and shine in a major European league. Having signed players from the Netherlands, Brazil and Switzerland over the last 2 completed seasons, Nice are no strangers to shopping in interesting places. TSYGANKOV could prove to be their next shrewd investment. 3. Moussa Dembélé to Man United. With a raft of forward players leaving Old Trafford this summer, it's clear United need to bring in at least one forward. But with their needs in other areas, we suggest they target a cheaper striking option. Step forward Lyon's Moussa Dembélé. The former Fulham and Celtic star, still just 25, experienced a troubling 6 months spent on loan at Atletico Madrid in 2021, where a fractured arm, bout of COVID and misfiring form led to him receiving just 130 minutes of League and Champions League action. But he bounced back with an exceptional 21 league goals for a struggling Lyon side in 21-22, whilst his 0.86 goals per 90 ranks 6th in Europe, above Mbappe, Vlahovic and Salah. It remains to be seen how Ten Hag wants his front line to operate, and Dembélé is very much a target man in the mould of Ronaldo, with negligible defensive output and less than 15 passes per game last term. But given his prowess in the box with at least 20 goals in 3 of the last 4 campaigns, as the pressure increases towards the end of the window and United start to panic, we could absolutely see this happening. 2. Lucas Moura to Milan. With Steven Bergwijn almost certain to depart North London this summer, it seems unlikely that Antonio Conte will sanction the departure of Lucas Moura. But approaching his 30th birthday and having played more than 45 minutes in just 2 of Spurs' final 16 league games, their 2019 Champions League semi-final hero might believe it's time to chase regular football once again. This leads us nicely to AC Milan. Scudetto champions for the first time in 11 years, their triumph was built off the back of 4 or 5 key players, but there is no doubt that in order to continue their progression, they need to strengthen their squad options. They scored 15 fewer goals than rivals Inter, with their 69 topped by every Serie A champion in the last 10 seasons. With Zlatan's long-term health uncertain, and preferred right-wing options Salamakers and Messias having provided 6 league goals and 62 league games between them in 21-22, they certainly need additional firepower. Having averaged a goal every 4.7 games across his career, Moura's output isn't guaranteed. But given he operated at 0.43 expected goals and assists per 90 in 21-22, just 0.13 less than Serie A Player of the Year Rafa Leão, we believe his pace, experience and quality could help Milan maintain their success. 1. Memphis Depay to Juventus. Despite the fact that Memphis Depay was signed and thrived under Koeman, Xavi has made clear that he appreciates the former Lyon star, saying in March, "He is a player who should be important, he is positive, he is very professional." And yet with Aubameyang already on the books, Ansu Fati returning to full fitness, and Rafinha and Lewandowski potentially coming in, it feels like if Xavi lands his targets, Depay, a free agent in 2021, might be sold to alleviate their financial issues. In terms of potential suitors, Arsenal and Spurs are never far from his name, but we feel that Juventus have a greater need for him, and according to Spanish publication Sport, they are once again interested in his signature. With Dybala having left and Morata's permanent move to Turin far from a certainty, they could definitely need the extra firepower that Depay could provide. After all, he provided 0.68 goals and assists per game last season, 0.1 more than Juve's best Vlahovic. With Pogba and Di Maria their priorities, Juventus will probably be scratching around last minute and end up with Belotti, but the more versatile Depay would certainly be an improvement. So guys, that was 10 shock transfers that could and maybe will happen this summer. What did you guys think of the list? Do you think any of these will actually come true? Let me know in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to like it and subscribe to Euro Football Daily for more great European content, and I'll catch you next time.